dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 4:59 on Friday, July the 26th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Well, we have made it to Friday, and thank goodness for that. Yesterday was beautiful, and we're hoping today is just the same. Let's bring in meteorologist Kelly McShane for a breakdown of just what to expect as you step out the door. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Will, and happy Friday to everybody. Like the last few mornings, we're off to a little bit of a cool start. Those upper 50s and lower 60s are what we're seeing this morning. 59 in Harlan, 63 in Hazard. Prestonsburg, good morning to you folks. You are at 61 degrees this morning. A little bit of fog this morning. I think it's going to be a little bit thicker as we head throughout the morning, but just be careful on the roadways if you're heading out early or within the next few hours. And as for that coffee meter, maybe the warm coffee again, but let's call it a normal day because, hey, it is Friday. We are at the end of the week. I'll have that full forecast in a little bit, Will.
All righty, Kelly, thank you so much. Well, a Clay County 11-year-old is in the hospital after a friend threw boiling hot water on him as a part of the so-called hot water challenge. His mother is now begging other parents to educate their kids on the dangers of pranks like this one. I talked with her and have more on the boy's condition. Billy Oliver is just a kid.
It was a 10. If it was a 1, well, 0 to 10, I'll bet it was a 10.
But this kid's life has been turned upside down when this happened.
So you had to take some boiling hot water at 212 degrees and throw it on someone, or you had to drink it.
The little game that left Billy with 2nd and 3rd degree burns is called the Hot Water Challenge.
It is a challenge that's going around the internet that while you sleep, they boil the water and they pour it on you, or they drink it.
We did a quick YouTube search that pulled up videos and stories done by other stations about this challenge. While we cannot independently verify the video's authenticity, Patricia Oliver says this points to a frightening trend nonetheless.
Education is the only thing that we can do right now. The parents need to speak. You need to talk to your child. Because my child had stayed many of a night with this boy. I would have never put him in danger, would have never thought. But it's a challenge, and you know. A challenge with frightening consequences that has put this 11-year-old in a burn unit 3 hours away and has a mother begging other parents to be aware. Now, doctors are optimistic that Billy will go home later today. We did reach out to the Clay County Sheriff's Department, who say they are investigating the incident. Well, people in one Pike County community are mourning the loss of one of their own. 16-year-old Shaylee Cobb lost her battle with leukemia Wednesday. Shaylee had been in the hospital fighting the disease for the past 9 months, searching for bone marrow donors. Bethany Thompson, one of Shaylee's teachers, says she was a great kid that made an impact on everyone she came in contact with.
Quiet and compassionate. She had a lot of friends. She was a wonderful student to have in class. She tried her best on everything that she did.
Donations to help the family can be dropped off at the community funeral home. The visitation for Shaylee is tonight from 6 until 10 at the funeral home, and the funeral is Sunday at 2. Police say an 82-year-old Owlsley County woman was murdered in her own home. The coroner says Owlsley Bowling was murdered on July 18th. A family member found Bowling's body in her home on Winkler's Branch Road north of Boonville. The sheriff says there was a struggle with a, quote, unwanted visitor. Police are still searching for suspects. A Corbin area man killed his pregnant girlfriend because he feared she would tell police about his drug dealing. That's according to the latest indictment from a federal grand jury. 29-year-old Daniel Nance is accused of the March 16th killing of his girlfriend Jerry Johnson. She was 7 months pregnant at the time. The grand jury believes Nance wanted to protect his meth dealings. He could face the death penalty. Well, Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear was in Harlan yesterday talking to Black Jewel coal miners about their lost wages. The miners are also not receiving benefits such as 401k payments and child support. Beshear says he's trying to get what's owed back to the miners. His office has started an investigation into the situation. The miners are frustrated and still do not have any answers.
The reason we did the meeting the way we did today is so that everybody could be candid. These are really proud, hardworking people that are going through real hardships, and I wanted to make sure I could hear their specific concerns and where we could address them, do everything we can.
Now, attorneys for Black Jewel miners filed a class action lawsuit in federal court yesterday. The lawsuit takes aim at unpaid wages, lost benefits, and the fact miners received no notice they would be out of a job. Now, there will also be a job fair next week specifically for Black Jewel miners. Fluor and United Infrastructure Group is looking for 25 to 35 miners. They work on a 4-year highway expansion project in Asheville, North Carolina. The fair is August 1st from 10 in the morning to 3 in the evening. We have more information on those jobs on WYMT.com. Well, at 5:05, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Later, the Maker's Mark Distillery in Loretto is honoring a Kentucky artist who died in March.
Another day of plenty of sunshine, but those temperatures ramp up just a bit. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up next.